You guys can come in here. Blu-ray Tuesday. This part has been recorded on Monday, like I normally try to do. This isn't a really big update. Tomorrow I plan on picking up and tacking at the end of this the Mad Max Steelbook and maybe one or two other things. I said this last time that this pickup might not be even present, if not very large. If all things work out, I should be getting a package on Thursday, which means the next pickup will have actually 8 things to pick up if I don't pick up any new releases that day. And then the following pickup is Fast and Furious 7 Steelbook, but again, I don't know if I'll be picking up other things. The stuff I grabbed here are just kind of like, oh, I didn't know this was coming out, and or it was out already. I think it's been out. I'm not sure how long it's been out. And then I went to Fry's and I was looking through the Well Go USA sale that they had, and nothing really catch my eye. A lot of the titles that they had there have been dollars in the past on Black Friday and other deals, so I just figured I'll hold off on those. Right now, awkward. Right now I just have 2 titles here, and then I'll do a separate video. I should be able to edit and upload it before 1 or 2 p.m. Tuesday, maybe. I'm hoping that's when this will go up. I also have another video that's coming out. The link will be in the description, hopefully, depending on uploading time. It may come out later that night, it may come out Wednesday, but I'll put the link, I'll edit the description and add the link in it. It's a review of M. Night's The Visit. And I was lucky enough to get tickets to an early screening maybe a week and a half ago. I want to say 3rd week of August, 2nd week of August. It's September 1st today, I think, right? When this will come out. So yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago. So so I'm going to do a review of that. Yeah, so if you want my opinions on that, link in the description, or just go to my channel and see the video. So just, yeah, really quick, newish release, Ben Gordy's The Last Dragon. I've seen bits and pieces of this on TV before. It's sick 80s kung fu and fighting and stuff. So I haven't seen the whole thing through, so I'm gonna watch this fairly soon. I've been on an 80s movie kick ever since I picked up Scream Factory's release of Escape from New York. So yeah, The Last Dragon. It doesn't seem to have an obscenely amount of special features. I guess this is the first time it's ever been on Blu-ray. It's got documentary on it, which I don't know if you can see, and then some commentary. I'll probably check this out later today. That I got a $9.64 something like that at Walmart. Best Buy has it $14.99, and a lot of people are picking up at $14.99. Go to Walmart. It's listed on their website as more expensive, but if you get it in store, some of the stores have it marked down. It's a bit cheaper, and all of them come with a slip. Best Buy's, none of them that I went to today had the slip. I did manage to find this in good condition. Zavvi today had a Labor Day, I think it's essentially Labor Day sale, but in the UK, the equivalent, I guess, is my understanding of very little. Anyways, and so they had a bunch of stuff like marked way down, and they had this film, the steelbook of this film, for $14 plus shipping. But I'm not the biggest fan of steelbooks. I prefer steelbooks over regular releases, but I don't like waiting. And then with Zavvi, if something comes damaged, it's a whole thing. So I was at there and I said, well, hey, let's look at this. I was watching a couple eBay bids for it. It was going for around the same price. My price matched with Amazon. It is the 2-disc collector edition of Grindhouse, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez double feature. It comes with this cool slipcover. Here's the actual disc looks like. I saw this in 2007 when it came out in theaters. Yeah, 2007 when it came out in theaters, and that's essentially the only time I watched it all the way through. Not that I didn't like it. It's just the only opportunity. I've seen bits and pieces of Planet Terror on TV. I almost forgot the name for a second. I was going to say Death Proof, but that's the car one, obviously. Death Proof's my favorite of the two. I know a lot of people feel the opposite, um, and I don't know. I don't know why I like Death Proof so much. Better than Planet Terror. They're both good. This film itself is just amazing. I remember it came out. It was such an interesting concept to do now. Because this kind of stuff used to happen all the time, and this doesn't. And I thought it was cool. And all the trailers. I mean, obviously, some of the trailers even became feature films. Machete has had 3 films now, or something like that. So obviously, this has been a success. I want them to do more of these kind of films. There was a Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if he directed this, but he was in it. It was a spaghetti western. I can't remember what the name of it was. I can't seem to find it online either. But he was in it kept cutting to this camp scene, and he kept being in the camp scene, but it had a fake background, and then it would cut to the main story. If anyone you know what that is, post in the comments below, because I'm really curious, and I can't seem to find it anywhere, and I don't think he was credited in it, so I don't think it's on his IMDb unless I'm just overlooking something. But yeah, so that's it. I'll put a cut and jump to the Mad Max Steelbook tomorrow, and hopefully this gets put up, and if I pick up anything else, I'll let you know. I just want to take a quick second. Sorry, I had a phone call there. I just want to take a quick second. Wes Craven has passed. He passed yesterday from when I'm filming this. There's a lot of things going on because Wes Craven, his films, especially Nightmare on Elm Street and partially Scream, and all his other films, but definitely Nightmare on Elm Street, help influence me in and I think the person I am today. Honestly, it's cheesy to say, but I watched The Exorcist when I was 6. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7 or 8, maybe 9, and it was just that is what injected horror into my blood. And I know it doesn't show in my collection, but I am a huge horror fan. I have a couple select random titles, nothing big, and that's because I've repeated this over again. It's something I don't want to bite into, because I know once I bite it, I won't stop. And I'll get every Scream Factory release, every Arrow Video release, every set, and I want to start with the big ones. I want to get Friday the 13th. I want to get Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to get Halloween. I want to start with the big ones that are important to me, and some of the B films like Pumpkinhead. Wes Craven. It just I was at work. I saw it. I took a break. I just I don't believe this. I had to research it. I didn't know what was going on with his health. I'm not too up to date on that sort of thing, but I didn't know about the brain cancer. I guess it's sort of like a positive negative, and from what I hear, brain cancer can be very painful. So at least he's at ease, and no longer in pain. He was a brilliant man. He changed cinema, especially the horror genre, for everyone, and I don't think anyone would disagree. He made Robert Englund who he is. He terrified everyone, including myself. And there's not many horror films that scare me anymore. But when I was young, when I was 10, 9, 10, to my teen years, and I watched his stuff, and I watched Friday the 13th, which isn't his, but I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. Those two were connected somehow, and I think everyone connects them, even because of Freddy vs. Jason, but even before that, for some reason, they were connected. But Nightmare on Elm Street essentially is at its core what got me into horror, and those two franchises are big to me, and Nightmare on Elm Street is slightly bigger than Friday the 13th, even though I love Friday the 13th with a passion. Nightmare on Elm Street was one of the things that got me into horror, right after watching The Exorcist. I want to say it fucked me up mentally, but I think it improved my life. I don't think it would hurt anyone. If you haven't seen them, you've got to. Nightmare on Elm Street, even Scream. I don't like Scream as much as Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's a great movie franchise. I mean, he just did amazing work. And it's sad to see him go, but like I said, he's at peace. I put a little tweet out to his Twitter saying I wouldn't be the man today if I didn't watch his films as a boy, and I really believe that in my core. So it's sad, but happy for him. You know, if he was in pain, that he's no longer in pain. It must be a release. I've known many people with cancer, none with the brain, and I've known loss from cancer, um, and it's always a bit of a release, you know. I don't know if you've lost anyone through cancer, but it's like you hold on so tight, and then it like kind of releases. I feel like that's with a lot of deaths. So, you know, my prayers and my thoughts. I'm not very religious, but whatever prayers I give are with his friends and family and the people that knew him. I was lucky enough to have great conversations with Robert Englund at Comic-Con when I used to do interviews there. We did an interview for Fear Clinic, and both the actor who plays Jason and Robert Englund were there, and I had a great time. He had only amazing stories about him and about the set and filming those movies, and it was great. And I still have the tapes of those interviews, but they were upline somewhere, and now they're all gone. But you know, I'll go back and watch them whenever I feel emotional like this. So I'm probably gonna check them out. I don't think I'm gonna upload them, but you know, this is something that's still developing. I don't own any Nightmare on Elm Streets. Like I said, I'm not biting off that horror apple, but I don't think I have a choice now. My self-being is screaming at me to go out and buy the collection, and maybe even scream. I don't care how much it costs. You know, I'm always trying to find the best deal, but I think with this, it doesn't really matter with the cost, because those are so profound. So I think later this month, next couple weeks, I'll be picking that up, and maybe Friday the 13th. I want to kind of get them at the same time. But sorry if that bummed anyone out. It's a big loss to the movie industry, and you know, I want to say things will never be the same, but things will keep going, and more horror films will come out that I love, and more content that I love. So I mean, this is what it is. We live and we die, and it's depressing. But I'm sorry if this bummed anyone out. But yeah, so like I said, prayers to the family and friends of Wes Craven, and I'm going to cut, or maybe slowly fade, to tomorrow. So see you then. And here is the Mad Max Steelbook and whatever else I pick up. Oh, howdy. Oh my god, it's already 12:30. That whole experience could have gone way better. I'm going to go over the, I did get two more things. They're not the two things I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to pick up some more of those $4.99 Lionsgate titles, but I did not, because I forgot a film was coming out today, and then the other one kind of screamed by me. So, first, Mad Max. Steelbook. This is what the story has to do with. As you know, I used this little pre-order. It's upside down. These little pre-order cards, which is, I think, the root of all the problems. But I'll show you the front, back without art, inside without discs, full steelbook. Alright, next I forgot this was coming out. This is a Anchor Bay release. I'm not sure who made this, but it's Lost After Dark. I had thought this come out in October, and I wanted it, but I didn't realize it had come out on the 1st of September. It's sort of like it's an 80s slasher film, so like the quote on the back says, the best 80s slasher film that wasn't filmed in the 80s. So it's a new film that's meant to be like the 80s slasher films. And the other thing that just kind of screamed by me, I have never heard of, but it's The Harvest. It's a Scream Factory release. And if you remember Wormwood, Wormwood had the slip had smelt funny. I think I had mentioned that in the pickup. And it was also Scream Factory release. This suffers the same curse. It smells a bit like rotting. It's definitely the slipcover. I don't know what it is. Maybe like these cheap Scream Factory releases that aren't like, you know, Mad Max, that one, or Escape from New York. No, Escape from New York doesn't smell. So I don't know if it's like the cheapy versions of films from Scream Factory just kind of smell weird. Anyways, this had screamed out to me because it seemed to be a horror without like blood and gore or creatures. So that seemed interesting. Here's the alternative inside, because it's still a Scream Factory release, so they do that, and I love that. And one of the reasons I stopped and looked at this is this kid here. I recognized his face, and I didn't know from what. And for a second, I thought he was Ty from Iron Man 3. And this is a young kid who's in Wayward Pines, the miniseries that aired, the M. Night miniseries based off of the book Wayward Pines. And he's really young here. So I don't know if that was filmed, how long ago this was made. It says 2015, but he looks way too young to be 2015. So I'm going to watch this later and see what it's like. So that's it for the pickups. Total 5. When I was not, it was only going to be 3. Here's this. But yeah, so the story here is that I had pre-ordered months ago using this little card, and the second they went out, I was like, let's do this, pre-order Mad Max Steelbook, yeah. And I did the same for Fury 7. I don't have the card here. And then I had heard that there were issues pulling them for Insurgent and other pre-orders like this. So that's been sitting on my mind for a while. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get this morning off. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to get the 15th morning off to pick up Fury 7. But I want to be the first thing so I can grab a Steelbook just in case they don't pull them. And so that's what I did. So I went in. I was the first one in. I grabbed one. They had 3 in the front, and then in the back where they have all the other movies, they had 5. So they had plenty, and I thought, wow, this is a lot, because some people are reporting that that they only have like 2 or 3 in their store. So I thought, great, everyone's going to get one. So after I grabbed one from the front, there are 2 people following me in, and they grabbed the other 2 from the front. So there's 3 gone there, and so I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the back and take a look at the other new releases are. That's where I grabbed Harvest and Lost After Dark. But I see there are 5 more, and this is when I'm like, oh great, so there's plenty to go around. You guys come up, and the 2 guys from before, and they grab all of them. Like, I'm not even kidding. They just grab the stack, and the words that came out of their mouth was, 1 for me, the rest for eBay. Which is just so harsh, especially because I don't know how many people at my store use this pre-order card, but as I later found out, they did not pull them, which again doesn't surprise me because it's a big issue with them. The funny part of this is that they pulled the regular copies. So at least I know there's 4 or 5 people who use these cards, minus me. So 4 maybe, that aren't going to get them because there's people grabbing the stack for eBay, which I just find so disrespectful. Like, take what you need, not what you try to, you know, get greedy from. But I know it's a business and that's how they make money, so whatever. So anyways, I had grabbed my copy, grabbed Harvest and Lost After Dark, and went to the front of the store and said, hey, I'm buying these 2, and I had pre-ordered this. Showed the lady my receipt. I don't know if this is because I know the people there so much, but she's like, okay, you're good to go, and I left. They didn't touch my receipt. They just looked at it really quick and said I'm good to go. And on my way home, I get home and I start thinking, okay, what if, because they didn't process my pre-order, so what if I get charged for the digital copy that I used because I don't pick up my pre-order or whatever? And so I thought, well, I have to go to the post office later, and so I'll go back. So I went back, which is why it's already almost 1, so this isn't probably going to go up till 2 or 3, which I feel bad about. But and I still haven't even uploaded the visit review. But so anyways, I had gone back. I didn't bring the steelbook, and I didn't bring the stupid pre-order card, which I guess they might have helped them. But I go back and I tell her, I said, I go to the customer service and I said, the lady, I don't want to get in trouble, like I'm not mad or anything, the lady up front just checked my receipt and didn't process the pre-order correctly, and I'm just concerned that I'm going to get charged for the digital copy that I already used, because that was the benefit of pre-ordering. Watch the HD digital copy now. See? And I know there's a bunch of rules on the back here and restrictions on how that works to protect themselves. So I wasn't sure if this was one. So he tries to process the pre-order and it doesn't work. He uses the game system to process the pre-order, and I'm like, no, it's the movie. And he goes, okay. So he asks the employee next to him what he should do. So they switch spots, and she tries it and it doesn't work. So she calls corporate, or the HQ or whatever, to try to figure this out. So we keep bouncing back and forth, like nothing gets done. She ends up calling someone from the back, trying to get a steelbook up there to give to me, and I have to re-explain to her that I already picked it up because I'm not trying to cheat them. Even though it was an easy possibility, I could have just kept my mouth shut and probably picked up a variable copy extra to give to my friend, but I'm not an asshole. So I will cheat them if they leave themselves open to be cheated, like the Battlestar Galactica set. I will not steal from them. That is unbelievably low. But so I explained to her what the guy knew, and she's like, "Oh, okay." So she calls back the head HQ, and HQ says the way they process it, because it doesn't work through their game system, and there's a bunch of problems with the pre-order system, which is why nothing got pulled. Yada yada yada, back and forth. Is you return the pre-order and buy the steelbook. Now a little switch clicked in my head, and I'm like, wait, if you return the pre-order, won't the digital copy notice that, and now I'm going to get charged for the digital copy? So I don't know if that's going to happen. The corporate and her reassured me that's not going to happen. I have a feeling it still might, because in my head there's no safeguard. So there's a safeguard: if I don't pick up the pre-order, the digital copy gets paid for by the money that the pre-order is supposed to get picked up. According to her, there is no safeguard if I return the pre-order and keep the digital copy, which just doesn't make any sense, because then I get a free movie out of it. Sure, it's digital, but you know, if you wanted to cheat the system, there you go. Or alternatively, you could pick up the steelbook or the regular version or whatever if they're out of the steelbook, and then return it after activating digital copy that you get on the receipt from pre-ordering it with that card, and then you've gotten a free digital copy. So it just doesn't add up to me that they wouldn't have any sort of safety features there to keep themselves secure so they can keep their money. So we'll see if I get charged. I don't know if I'm going to have to do this whole thing over again with Fury 7. Now I'm hoping to get the morning off, because obviously they didn't pull any Mad Max. They might pull Fury 7. I'm going to try calling them the Monday before it comes out, Monday night, asking them to make sure to pull me a copy, and then maybe Tuesday before they open to double check. Hopefully I get Tuesday morning off. If I don't, then I might be SOL. No. Shit out. Shit out of luck. Whatever the abbreviation for that, SOL. I don't know what that is. But, so that's it, guys. That's my spiel. Holy crap, this has gone for 12 minutes, and the beginning part is really long too, so I'm sorry the length of this pickup. I know I had a spiel in there about Wes Craven and his loss, and now I had this story time, so if you wanted to stop, I appreciate it. But as always, guys, see you next week if I have something. Thanks for creating content. Thanks for being part of this community. Thanks for letting me be part of this community. And thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, and all that jazz. See you later. Bye.